Hello, I'm Trevor Alonso, and this is my after Oscar show that's going to be short. This is going to be fun. I'm just going to run through it. I'm not going to talk about all the awards, just a few of them. Not going to get political. The Oscars didn't get that political last night. There was just a couple of things. It happened during Best Foreign Film and when Spike Lee got on stage. But we can expect that from Spike Lee. We have the political aspect of the Oscars thanks to actors like Marlon Brando and Richard Gere. If you don't know, when Richard Gere got on stage, he asked China to free Tibet. Okay, if you don't know what Marlon Brando did when he won an Oscar for The Godfather for Best Actor, hold on to your hats, because I'm going to tell you a story. Okay, so Marlon Brando did not go in person to accept the award. He sent an Indian woman. Her last name was Littlefeather. I can't remember her first name. I'm sorry about that. He didn't send her to go accept the award. He sent her to deny the award for the treatment of Indians in movies and television and the current events at that time of Wounded Knee. And as far as I know, that's like the first big time someone made like a political speech at the Oscars. Even crazier, Roger Moore was supposed to hand her the Oscar. When she denied it, he kept it. And I don't mean like he kept it on stage. Apparently, Roger Moore snuck the award home, kept it, and a few days later, the Academy called him and said, hey, give us back our award. I don't know what Roger Moore was thinking. Like, was he thinking that, hey, I'm going to keep this on my mantle, and whenever somebody comes by to her, I'm like, oh, you won an Oscar? And he'll be like, yeah. But why does it say Marlon Brando? What was he thinking? And that ended up being the only time Roger Moore took home an Oscar. This year, they kind of pissed off everybody. Before they even got to the award show, they was setting up the most popular movie, and they decided not to do it when they got backlash for it. Probably because they're going to call it the Popcorn Award, and everyone associates the Popcorn Award with MTV, so that just backfired on them. And also it's like, well, why do that? And if you get nominated for that, you're definitely not going to get Best Picture. Later on, they had a problem with Kevin Hart, and then they decided not to do any hosts, and at one point it was going to be all the Avenger actors handing out the awards, and then they kind of got backlash for that, because it's like, okay, so that's kind of going in favor of Disney, because Marvel is owned by Disney. Now, at this point, when are they going to call it the Disney Awards? So many Disney movies won or got nominated. Then there's a controversy with the music. They're only going to have two performers. They're only going to have two performances of music. And at one point, it was going to be Queen and Lady Gaga. But when they asked Lady Gaga, she denied it because she was thinking to herself, well, that's not fair to everyone else that, is nominated. And then it really seems like everyone's going to think, okay, well, she's going to win because Queen, they didn't write anything for this movie. They just, had a biopic. So I wasn't too surprised when Lady Gaga won for Best Song. And of course, the Academy kneeled and they decided, okay, we'll let everybody perform their songs. And of course, the time limit's like, 2 minutes, 3 minutes? I'm not completely sure. They try to have a time limit, but yet they ask like an extra piece of music from Queen. So sometimes I don't get the Oscars when they say, hey, we're going to try to keep it shorter this year, but then they add stuff like that's extra. It's like, I get it. It was a biopic, but hey, they didn't do that for every other biopic. The Favorite ended up not being the favorite by the Oscars. I believe they only won one award for Best Actress. Rightfully so. Great performance from a trailer I've seen. I haven't seen the movie. To be honest, the only Best Picture nominee that I've seen this year was Black Panther. Speaking of Black Panther, they only won 3 awards last night. Best Original Score, Best Costume Design, and Best Production Design. They were nominated for Best Picture, Best Sound Mixing, and Best Sound Editing. Some people were like, big deal. Black Panther won some awards. I'm like, that's a huge deal because they were nominated for Best Picture. Normally the Academy is like, no, they're a comic book movie, do not touch them. Like everybody believed that Dark Knight was going to get nominated. A lot of critics thought, okay, Dark Knight should be nominated. Dark Knight did not get nominated for Best Picture. That was a total snub. Logan should have been nominated for Best Picture. Again, snub. At least it got Best Screenplay. Everyone thought Wonder Woman should get like a nomination. Nope. The Oscars look at comic book movies like, this is based off those silly books. Like people in costumes. But like movies like Road to Perdition, when it's based on a graphic novel, they kind of nominate it and then they realize, oh crap, this is based on a comic book. Well, let's not talk about that. Or History of Violence got some awards or some award nominations. And the Oscars again was like, we're not going to talk about that. It's a comic book. Okay, I thought it was cool that Queen opened up the Oscars. Even though it's Queen with Adam Lambert. And, we're never going to have the original Queen again. They're still pretty good. And near the end of the night, I kind of thought they had a shot at winning Best Picture. Bohemian Rhapsody won 4 of the 5 awards they were nominated for. Best Actor, Rami Malek, which, seems cool, but the clip they showed for Best Actor, they showed him lip-syncing, which I thought was a little weird for showing an actor clip. I wonder if Sacha Baron Cohen was out there thinking, damn it, that could have been me. That could have been my Oscar for playing Freddie Mercury. I also wonder if Motley Crue's out there thinking, damn it, our movie's going to Netflix. There's a really slim chance that we're going to get nominated for anything. Also, Elton John's watching this thinking, Rocket Man, you better hit it out of the park. This movie did it. My movie better. They won Best Sound Mixing. They won Best Film Editing. Best Film Sound. Okay, we're going to get into what everybody wore last night real quick. For some reason, a lot of guys dress up like it's 70s prom. I don't know why. Jason Momoa looked like he's going to a prom in the 70s. Some of the women wore like these dresses that almost made them look like a disco ball for some reason. As you can tell already, I'm not really huge into fashion, so my descriptions are not like the greatest. When they talked about best costume and they were introducing it, Melissa McCarthy and I forgot the other guy, they walked onto the stage. I want to say they were dressed as people from The Favorite, just really crazy old costumes. Melissa McCarthy had like a bunch of cats on her and like a cat puppet in one hand and kept moving it as she was talking. She sort of looked like a 1970s pimp, to tell you the truth. Now, of course, it wasn't what she was wearing the entire night, because when they cut back to her later on for like audience reaction, she was wearing something else. Spike Lee was dressed as a 1970s pimp, like the most purple outfit and like these really huge rings. I couldn't tell what they said. The Oscars seem to go faster without a host, but we don't get as many funny jokes, so it kind of just seems like they're running along. And speaking of running along, the speeches, I don't know what their set time is to start playing the music. It's just all over the place. Like the very first speech for Best Supporting Actress, she went on and on and on, and they never played the music. And then they started playing the music for everyone else after that, but then they started playing it at the most random times. And then I can't remember who it was that won. It was like a group of people, and as soon as I got to like the third or fourth guy, he was right up at the mic, and they started playing music. It's like, okay, wait. Play the music if they're taking forever. Don't play the music as they're going to the mic, because then it just seems like we're being a dick. Also, down in the orchestra, I guess they had an electric guitar guy, and he kept playing the same solo piece from Bohemian Rhapsody every time Bohemian Rhapsody won something, or was talked about, or someone was going to the stage for. So you got to play that a lot. Okay, so last I'll talk about Best Picture. I kind of thought Bohemian Rhapsody might have a chance because they're winning their awards so far. Black Panther was like the really long shot because, comic book movie. It was like, okay, let's take baby steps. They got nominated, but, can a comic book movie really win Best Picture? Vice, at this point, I was like, they might not win. They could win. There's a good chance, but there's also that chance of, like, everyone going, Black Klansman, I thought, had a really good chance. The Favorite, I didn't think was going to win Best Picture. Again, The Favorite was not the favorite last night. A Star is Born, I thought was, like, going to be right up there. Traditionally, they win, like, Best Picture. It seems like it gets made every generation or so. I sort of thought, okay, Roma might really win this because Best Director. They won Best Director, and a lot of times, whoever wins Best Director is about to win Best Picture. Nope, it was Green Book. I didn't think they were going to win Best Picture. They won some awards last night. They were doing alright, but I didn't think they were doing as good as some other movies were. Not enough for me to go like, okay, they're going to win Best Picture. And again, I've only seen one nominated movie. Okay, so overall, I thought the Oscars went a little bit faster without a host. Went a little bit faster than usual. They didn't drag out everything. I want to say not everything, because some stuff's still dragged out. You know, I don't know what the ratings are. I know they've been dropping in the past like few years, but that's everything. Even the Super Bowl's ratings drops. Maybe this year they dropped even more than usual because the game was really boring. If you don't watch the Oscars, fine, that's cool. If you loved the Oscars, great. You know, say in the comment section what you thought got snubbed, who you think should have got nominated. Yeah, I think Aquaman should at least got nominated for Best Special Effects. Yeah, I sort of thought Infinity War got snubbed. But, you know, First Man, from what I can tell, looks a lot more realistic. And of course, that's based on a real event, so that, you know, you have to meet high standards whenever something is based on an actual event. Because then if you're not that good, they could be like, well, we've seen that. Why can't you make it look like this? If you want a really good parody of the Oscars, I suggest watching Naked Gun 33 1/3. They make fun of everything perfectly in that movie. You know what I mean by that? They kind of go by like the frame of the Oscars. They make fun of the clothes, the crazy clothes. They make fun of the awards, they make fun of the award speeches, they made fun of the political aspects of that time, they make fun of how there's some crazy dramatic movies that come out that you only hear of during the Oscars. If you want to watch a good parody of the Oscars, I suggest watching that. Tell me some of your opinions in the comment section. Okay, another thing to say, talk about in the comment section, what everyone wore, what they didn't wear, what you didn't like. If you thought it was too long, if you thought I was rambling too long, thank you for watching my video.